And we'll just give it a few seconds here just to kind of populate.
Cool, cool. No worries.
All right, so welcome back to your favorite comedy finance channel. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I'm here with an Arcblock developer, the Force Society. He's starting to do little bits and pieces of showcase when it comes to how to utilize the different blocklets. So I do want to introduce the Force Society and welcome to the show. And tell us about you and tell us about, just certain things that you've played with and, what you look forward to with Arcblock and what else you got in mind.
Yeah, definitely. I thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. Truly honored. And I'm kind of a little bit developer. I would say more so just a user, if anything. But I've messed around with the blocklets, launched a server. I've made some videos as to how to go about doing that. The blocklet I've worked the most with is like the page kit, because that just blew my mind about the web pages. But that's kind of about it. I've been in crypto like almost going on 3 years, and I just really started to, I would say, get to know it. I thought I knew it a couple of years ago, and every year that passes, I realized I actually didn't know too much. So it's really cool to, even though it's still just a little, and that's usually how everything works, is the more you know, the less you know, or the less you realize you know. But it's been an awesome journey, and I'm just honored, and I want to give a shout out real quick for Dion recommending making videos and talking about Arcblock, because if you'd never mentioned Arcblock, I literally wouldn't know about it. So again, I just want to thank you for that.
No, absolutely. We always want to make sure we find emerging markets. One thing that I love more than anything is not only margin for sure, but I also want to find great technology that's futuristic. And the reason why is because, not only am I an admin or a developer of some sort, right? I'm also an investor, and as an investor myself, I don't look for mainstream picks. I don't look for anything that's saturated or has been around or anything that was popular last cycle. And, I don't do that as a standard play, but I do try to search out the next evolving tech. And the reason why is because, we're in the technology sector. So because of that, technology is consistently evolving. So my positions need to consistently evolve with what's next in the tech sector. And the next thing is Web3 and true Web3 decentralization. So like, I'm really happy that you found Arcblock along with a variety of other picks that we've talked about. And, and again, look.
All the picks are killer. All the picks are killer.
And here's another thing too, it doesn't matter what level developer you are. If you're doing anything for your own life, your own personal life, and you're building, a website that you can monetize, you're building a website that you could utilize for business or as a traffic, a traffic separator between your Twitter, your YouTube, your videos, your instructional videos on how to utilize Blocklet, which is, I really love how you explain Blocklet to the T. Like, you're actually really good at that. And, a lot of people, it takes a long time to get through that process. And as easy as Arcblock is to use, it's always nice to see a step-by-step process to expedite the process. When I first started utilizing Blocklet for the websites and trying to make the NFT marketplace, it took me a few hours to do it by myself, But when I was watching your videos, I was like, if I had this instructional, this would have been so much faster, So I actually, I'm going to talk to Robert to see if he could utilize one of your videos to maybe upload to his own page. That would be awesome if we could do something like that. So, because Robert wants a DAO, and a DAO is, an autonomous organization of different individuals and members that believe in a project and I want to push that project forward. And I believe in Arcblock. I know you do. And, and what's nice about a community like ours is we're universal. And that's very much like the middleware that Arcblock offers people. It's universal. It's blockchain agnostic. I like a variety of different picks. I like a variety of different ecosystems and a variety of different tools. And as a developer myself, I want to have the freedom to work in this ecosystem without having to leave it. And I could utilize this tool over here and still use it over here. That's the biggest key about Arcblock, because the blocklets, You could use them as a consumer using Arcblock server, right? You pay per quarter or whatever. Or you could be, let's say if you have your own server or you're your own enterprise, your own company, whatever the case, you could utilize your own server and run the tool Blocklet on top of your own server, decentralized from Arcblock. So even if Arcblock were to shut down today and it's over, you know, for some reason, it just doesn't exist. Blocklet, the technology, the tool will always be yours to own and utilize on your own server, because it is an open source code that has been provided by Arcblock. And that's what I love about that, because it's like, you don't have to worry about another entity being somewhere else, whether it's on or off. There's no single point of failure. You could utilize Blocklet with or without Arcblock. There was a developer that just got through I think it was like VM.codes.
It's Vinny, dude. Vinny, yeah,
Vinny is a beast at
he is a beast.
Yeah. And he was actually wondering, like, hey, you know, I wanted to get on Arcblock's Blocklet so that way I could showcase my tool, whatever, you know. But Robert was like, you actually don't need to, because you can have your own Blocklet store and offer all the different things you want. You don't need Arcblock as a gatekeeper or a guardian to offer your products or services via the tool. And what's nice with Vinny is they have their own server. So he's running the Blocklet tool, not on Arcblock server. He's running it on his server, fully decentralized from Arcblock's control. And that's the point. That's the point of Web3. There's no single point of failure. So you have the product with or without the entity that gave it to you. And then on top of that, you could run it on your own ecosystem, regardless of what blockchain you're on. And that's the point. There's a lot of companies that need DID solutions. There's a lot of companies that need, you know, NFT marketplaces. They need this, they need that. All of these things can be built universally in any coding language, whether it's Python, JavaScript, whatever it may be, Solidity. You know, you could keep that Blocklet and still run it anywhere you need it to be ran. And that's the best part about this whole project. I really love it. It's so futuristic.
No, 100% it is futuristic. And that's the best way of describing it, as you did. In regards to the videos, that was like my goal is it took me kind of a couple hours to do it all myself, but I knew I'm somebody that likes a step-by-step walkthrough, especially in something that like I've never done before. Even if it is user-friendly, naturally you're going to be a bit nervous. So I wanted to make that video kind of like what you were saying and just show people this is how easy it is. Anybody can do it. And even if you feel nervous, just follow these steps. But again, in regards to kind of like what you were saying, Arcblock has done a beautiful job at covering every base. I mean, if you're a brand new beginner, it has every tool for you, basically. If you're an expert, like you can code, you can create and want to run your own server and take full, you could say, use every single aspect Arcblock has to provide in your own area, in your own kind of like local domain per se, you can do that too. And not only that, but with the DIDs, you can transfer ownership. You can do all of this other stuff that makes, I would say, the entire like software ecosystem better, cooler, more efficient. And the main point, again, like you said, no centralized point of failure. They've covered every base and it's already ready to roll. And it's not a project that in maybe a year or two we hope is there. It's here right now. And that's what really blows my mind.
Yeah, no, I love that part, you know, because put it this way, all right, so as an admin myself, you know, my bandwidth gets really stretched out, you know, so like with the AI Blocklet, that's a big deal.
Dude,
also for the developers themselves. So like a lot of the problems that I run into as an admin is, you know, basically my bandwidth gets so stretched out that I just need something built. Like I have an idea, but I don't have the bandwidth to build it. I have the idea for it to be built. And then I just need a developer to get that done. And that's what that Blocklet Assist could be for that AI.
Correct.
Now, besides that, you know, what if I have a developer that I have access to that could build it for me? He could still utilize that AI assist to do it for me on that side. So no matter how I look at this, you know, it's going to expedite the process and production of dApps. So I like to call it dApps on demand, to be honest with you, because of how that works, you know?
Yeah, that's a great name for it, to be honest.
But besides that, you know, I like the fact that it's like, you know, let's say I only have a team of 2 developers, right? You know, I'm an admin, I got 2 developers that want to work with me or whatever the case. Maybe they have other projects that they're assisting. Okay. They only have so much bandwidth. But on top of that, so for those of you that watch our channel that are admins or developers, you know, and you're short staffed or you need more power, right? You need more energy power to create something. You know, you have to utilize that AI blocklet, and that gives you an extra set of 10 arms, you know, and that's really what I like about this. It's going to really cover those gaps where your staff is not there, because you got to think about it right now in the crypto sector, the demand for developers is extremely high. There's not enough experts, not enough developers, not enough beginners in the development world either, you know.
Yeah.
So and even with, you know, Microsoft and Google doing all these layoffs and all that stuff, you have to think about it. You know, they laid off anywhere between, I want to say 2%, some of them 6% of their staff, which was thousands of people based on their numbers, how many people they do have employed.
Correct.
However, even for the amount of people they got let go, that's still not enough to cover the demand that the crypto sector needs for developers. So the biggest thing that's going to fill that gap is artificial intelligence. And Robert Mao, he's ex-Microsoft elite research team member. He has specialized in machine learning. So he's all about AI. And when he deployed the AI blocklet, I knew this was over. You know,
dude, yes.
is going to be it's like 1,000xing your staff's production. That's what I like to call it. You know, it's just like it really does make things a lot faster. So that's one thing I do like. Now, before we go further into Arcblock, I did want to kind of share just more stuff, but like, let's talk about the Fourth Society. Like, you know, what's your name? Like, what started all of this? You know, like you kind of came out of nowhere, but you were just like nonstop producing awesome content, showing the tutorials. And I was like, all right, where'd this guy come from? And I just realized that you've been with us for over a year now. So
correct. Yeah.
You know, what's been going on?
I mean, basically, I've just been kind of low key. I didn't feel the need to like come out of my hiding per se. I kind of just felt like anything I could offer was already being offered somewhere. But then over time, after being with MYC for a period of time, I was just like, man, more people need this kind of a message. And again, kind of like how you were saying, your bandwidth can only stretch so far. One person can only do so much. So I just figured as an MYC member, it was kind of time to like play my part, create my own little network off branch, start, you know, kind of marketing, start telling people, you know, kind of creating a media outlet. And so far, that's as far as I see the Fourth Society as of now, just kind of talking about the things that I would like to talk about. It ranges from crypto to Web3, but I also like to talk about science, religion, politics, and so forth. So really your framework of how your network is, that kind of gave me my framework of the network. And I look at the Fourth Society again as like an off branch of MYC, to where if MYC is the atom, the cosmos hub, then like the Fourth Society is like a Juno or osmosis. And to any other MYC members listening right now, I suggest and I would recommend you guys go do the same. I mean, this space, even though it feels big, it is still so small. There's so much opportunity for us to kind of hit the scene and start talking about the picks that we think matter. I mean, there's hundreds of people making videos talking about the same picks that they were talking about 5 years ago. Yeah. There's no serious education being brought up. And I just think we could take all of crypto and Web3 by storm. So I wanted to do that. And I've been just over the past couple of years acquiring knowledge. And that's kind of like how it seems like I kind of just came out. I was just kind of, you know, preparing just in case if the opportunity came and, you know, everything kind of followed in line. I was like, I feel like I should do this. And I was like, you know, God willing, I hope it turns out great. And so far it has. And already avenues and doors have opened up to where I never imagined. Like, I literally never thought I'd even be talking with you, let alone talking with Robert, talking with Byte Storage and so forth. So again, I recommend everybody to just make content. Yeah. To build, do something, even if it's not like on Arcblock or whichever, build in a sense to where we're getting people educated. And side note, I go by Wassel. My actual first name is Wael, so that's where the Wassel comes from. But yeah, I'm just based here in Amarillo, Texas, and that's about it.
What is that rooted from? That's a different name. I've never heard it before.
It's rooted from the Middle East, so it's a Syrian name.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah.
So is that where your culture is, or what's your background?
So my mom, she's just from New Jersey, but my dad, that's where his background is. He's from the Middle East. That is his culture. My last name is just Bag. So like if you took Baghdad and you dropped the dad, that's my last name. So I may not look it, but I am Middle Eastern.
That is awesome. That is so cool. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Well, look, and to add on to what you were saying, and I tell this to all our MYC members as well, this is what you should be doing. I'm always here to help build you guys up. And I always tell people, and this is kind of why I don't understand why, we've had issues here and there sometimes, but for the majority of the time, 90% of the time we find our brothers. 90% of the time we find
100%.
our brothers that are, they have the right heart. They don't abuse loyalty. We have the right people, right? Of course, I have ran into bad eggs that don't respect loyalty the way I do. But the point is the fact that there is no need for competitive tension between somebody of a higher platform to help somebody else get to another level. And the reason why I bring this up is because I know why there's issues with loyalty for some people out there, and I understand why there's some issues that exist. And the reason why is because people think they have to be competitive when there's no need to be competitive. This market is so small. This sector is so small.
Correct.
That no matter how big I get, no matter how big, let's say, some of the biggest names out there, like BitBoy or any of these other guys that are big names out there, they could get as big as they want and they still cannot uptake the entire market and for what else is coming into this market.
100%.
So I always tell people, and I get upset sometimes, for some of the bad actors out there, but I'm just like, guys, if you had the right mentality and you saw the future for what it really is, you would understand that synergy, working together, building together will provide way greater results than, tomfoolery out there. There's no reason to really be competitive when you actually work together. It's more bullish when you have different companies, different brands working together to bring forth a service or bring forth a product, or even just bring forth content, multiple people talking about the same thing, multiple people talking about the same type of virtues. This makes a real community, and
it creates a network effect.
Yeah, exactly. It creates real growth. And we're all here for growth. We're here for personal growth, and we're also here for portfolio growth. So, I urge a lot of our members, like I said, guys, I'm always here for you. I'm always going to work hard for you. I'm going to do whatever it takes and whatever I could do for you because you guys believed in me. We've gotten to a substantial level, and, you guys opened the door for me to be somebody. And I want to open the door for you guys to be somebody as well. Anything I could do for our people, I'm 100% in there. And, I'm just happy that, MYC inspired you to start branching out, building your own brand, building your own platform, putting out videos. And I've been watching your stuff on Twitter, which your Twitter account handle is The Force Society, or?
That is correct. Or it's at Force Societies. So it's like, it's not exactly at The Force Society, but it is at number 4 Societies with a Z. That was the only one not taken. So I went with that.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So I'll make sure to share wherever I can anyways there. So definitely. Besides that, one thing I've been taking a look at is, AI is becoming more and more important, right? And, I've been noticing that a lot of other companies are trying to implement it and they're not getting it right, Dude,
Arcblock's already ahead.
Yeah. So I have a comment here. It says, Osman says, so Robert's not interested in listing new exchanges. Okay. So Robert here's what's even more bullish about that first line. So Robert has never paid for an exchange to list Arcblock. Isn't that awesome?
That is. It's beautiful.
Yeah, because Coinbase actually listed them after they got the DID recommendation from the W3C console. See, people that regulate the internet and the way it works is CERN, W3C. And they recommended Robert's DID. So that was like the Independence Day for Web3, because you're going to need DID to get to the Web3. Now, what's nice about this is after Robert won the recommendation over, I think it was, what is it? Is it, I want to say Foxzilla, but it's not Foxzilla. I forget. Mozilla.
Okay.
They won the recommendation against Mozilla and also Google. They actually.
Oh, I didn't know that. Whoa.
So Mozilla and Google told W3C that they didn't approve of the recommendation, and they still approved Robert's
Wow.
framework instead. So that's pretty damn bullish. And
It's super bullish.
look, put it this way: 3 days after he won the recommendation, Coinbase listed Arcblock for free. How about that?
And I mean, we know these guys see it. They see it too. And maybe they haven't even looked into it as much as, say, we have. But Coinbase is putting 1 and 1 together and seeing this is going to be 2 here very soon. So let's launch it. Let's list it. And if people see it, then they do. One thing that I would say is, I know sometimes a lot of people think listings matter. And for most other projects, they do. But one of the things that I learned about Arcblock is it's not going to matter for Arcblock, actually. Just because the ecosystem in and of itself, I think as it grows, it literally won't matter if it's listed. You're going to see it become, again, you're going to see ABT turn into its own dollar in its own ecosystem. Yeah. And, when it starts to get to that point, yes, you're going to need exchanges to obviously get, a portion of it, or I don't know, I guess kind of like right now, go buy the liquidity, go buy the token, and then you can go use the token. So more exchanges will come in time. But I think right now it's almost like, I don't know, it's like in a weird way, it doesn't need it right now for whatever reason.
Look, well, here's what's funny. So Coinbase is one of the biggest exchanges in the world. Okay. Listed them for free. You know who else listed them for free? OKX, which is a large exchange as well. And then also BitTrue listed them, So these are all different exchanges that have listed Arcblock, and there was no agreement with Robert. Yeah. Like, Robert doesn't do it. So
they know it's going to be one. Yeah, so they're like, hey, we got the coins.
Yeah, exactly. They listed the company on their own accord, which is awesome. And it really does give us a bigger insight to how important that is when it comes to like, wow, then this must be something real. Yeah. No, besides that, I want to respond to the rest of his comment. He said, marketing, as he said that marketing is not of interest. Well, I would pay attention, guys, in 2023, because Robert, on our last live stream where I did an interview with him, he said directly that 2023, they were going to begin marketing, which they have been. Guys, if you don't think that there's marketing going on, like as in like right now since the beginning of the year, okay, then you're not paying attention, I promise. If you take a look at their Twitter account, if you take a look at Robert's channel, you'll notice that he's going to be live streaming from his own channel. And we've already been doing interviews together as well for the past 2 months. Correct. So that was before he even declared that he was going to do marketing. So the marketing is happening, and not only from Robert, okay, admins, look, put it this way, guys. I personally feel that the marketing shouldn't be the responsibility of the admin. I think that admin should focus on building. That's it.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
If you believe in the project, if you believe in the CEO, the community will naturally market that project for them, which is exactly what's happening. I started it because I was so interested. Now you've become a content creator over Arcblock as well. There's also, I think Crypto John has also been talking about Arcblock. Royal Black is talking about it. There's new developers being launched. There's 3 new companies building on it now. And it's all happening naturally.
And that's the DAO kind of, I feel like. That's the DAO beginning to form.
Exactly. Yeah. You're hitting the nail right on the head. That's exactly what's happening. The DAO is naturally forming itself due to the technology and due to the tool that is interoperable between different blockchains. And guys, migrations suck. Okay. I don't know. For those of you that don't know what a migration is, they are the worst thing you could possibly hear. Typically an admin will pitch it like an upgrade, and I don't like it, but they pitch it as an upgrade, and it's not,
I've yet to see a migration turn out good.
Yeah. Like, put it this way, from an admin's perspective, yes, there are some benefits to a migration because, maybe another blockchain offers the programmability that you need. I get it, However, the process in doing so burns investors because now the liquidity needs to be drained and transferred to the new chain. And then, you need to do a 1-for-1 swap over to the next blockchain or whatever the case.
Yeah.
And, this hurts the investor. So from an investor standpoint, this is very bad news. Okay.
Very.
But from an admin's, it could be good news, but also for the long-term holder investor, it could still be good news. You're just going to have to go through that volatility, and you're going to have to wait till that new token is issued. Then you have to wait for that scalability to restart on the new chain. So there's just little things that there's a benefit, but there's also a disadvantage. It is common, but that doesn't make it right either. So,
I agree.
Again, it's not to say that, bad actor, like there are bad actors for sure, but there are good, legitimate reasons out there. However, as an investor, you should understand that process because, you have to understand what losses you're going to incur for that time being until the next chain comes around. So again, migrations do suck. And as an investor myself, I don't like hearing it. I don't want to hear a whisper about it. But it does happen,
it stifles. I think even if it turns out greater on the other end, I think for a period of time, it stifles the innovation, stifles the progress. And again, that's what's beautiful about Arcblock is it is agnostic in that sense. The other thing, though, that blew my mind is Robert even mentioned that say a certain company is in a certain jurisdiction and they don't have regulations to touch the crypto or blockchain, they can still use Arcblock. Arcblock can still be utilized without ever touching the crypto or the blockchain aspect. That's more so just there to make the billing and coding everything a lot better and smoother. But if, say, somebody really wanted to still use it without ever touching it, they can. So not even regulations hold back the entire platform. That's another beautiful thing of covering all the bases.
Exactly. And I think that's a solid point that you brought up there, and the reason why I was bringing up the migration, guys, is because, when all right, so admins typically when they have to migrate, it's because of programmability is better on another chain or what have you, whatever it may be, whatever it is. Okay. Well, what Arcblock offers, okay, the middleware, the tools, okay, that it has to develop the tools that a lot of projects need. And a lot of projects back then, when they needed a tool, they were locked into their blockchain. So because they were locked into their blockchain, they had to migrate. Okay. So, because the other blockchain doesn't have the interoperability, it doesn't have the ability to get that programmability and then transfer it over. So they have to go to the next chain. So with Arcblock programmability, which is blockchain 3.0. Okay.
Yeah. And it's real interoperability.
Exactly. So they could get that tool and they don't need to leave their blockchain. They don't have an admin lock-in. Okay. They don't have to leave that blockchain. They could stay where they are and they could just utilize the tool in that ecosystem. Don't worry about it.
And the data moves in the blocklet. So wherever you move the blocklet, you're moving the data.
Exactly. There was something else I wanted to touch on. Okay, so again, on programmability, here's something that I would like to bring up because I don't think people understand from an investor standpoint if they're only buying tokens and not actually utilizing the tool. Okay, so if you're an investor, this is something to know. Okay, so when you have blockchain 3.0, the reason why Arcblock calls itself blockchain 3.0 is because of its interoperability and its programmability. Okay. On Bitcoin, the way it is, just regular peer-to-peer. Okay. That's blockchain 1.0. Okay. When ETH came out, that was blockchain 2.0 because you can integrate instructions called a smart contract. Okay. Arcblock is 3.0 because you still have blockchain 1, you have blockchain 2, like for the smart contracts, but for blockchain 3, you get added stuff like cloud nodes, you get Blocklet, okay? You have that interoperability. You have revenue split, okay? Revenue split is a very important thing to know. So for those of you that are watching this channel and you're an admin or a developer, for those of you that have created an NFT marketplace or you have made any sort of website that you attach one wallet to, typically from a management standpoint, what developers or admins need to do when they're selling, let's say, one particular NFT collection. all the revenue that gets taken from that product gets sent to only one wallet. Okay. Unless you program it in the back end. Okay.
Correct.
With Arcblock, it makes it so much easier to do so with no code, low code. So it doesn't matter if you're a high skilled developer or just regular retail consumer. Okay. You could still build out your NFT marketplace, your like whatever product you want. But that revenue split model is what creates a way for you to split the money with your staff without the money having to go in and then you manually send it to your staff. Okay. With Arcblock, you get the revenue coming in, and at transaction processed, it'll send the revenue split between your staff members automatically. So that way, how much time is that going to save? Also, it leaves no gray area between who didn't get paid, who did get paid, right? Because now that the smart contract is integrated for revenue split between X amount of wallets, every sale processed instantly sends it out. And now for taxing purposes as well, you don't have to be looking at the full tax bulk at that one wallet. It gets split 4 or 5 ways or whatever automatically for you. So that way everyone knows what principal they need to be recording. And this is substantial when it comes to programmability because nobody could do this yet. And if they can, it takes a lot of work, a lot of time, and manual sending. This is all automated. So this is another cool feature that I don't think a lot of people have grasped yet when it comes to blockchain 3.0 programmability. This is for enterprise level where you have a revenue split technology inside built into whatever smart contract you deploy for whatever products or services you're selling. So this is huge.
It's massive. Okay, bet. Yeah,
let's go through some comments. I think I missed a couple of them. Gomes is in the house. He says, what's going on, guys? Be Like Water says, let's go. Lo Wang says, what's up, D? What up, Lo Wang? Ace Killjoy says, let's go. It's MYC or the rope. Nunya says MYC is number 1. Chave says ABT.
Hey.
Ace Killjoy says, hit that goddamn like button, people. Chavo says, I love ABT.
I just want to shout out Chavo real quick. Shout out Chavo.
Yeah. Fabian says ABT is $50 plus in 2025. A hot dog sent me. Scooter Scott says MYC bitches. ABT Dust going to be $50. Fernando S says much respect to our community. Lo Wang says I'm eating top ramen noodle right now till ABT explodes, trying to scoop up as much as I can. I went over that comment. Long-term, Fabian feels that it'll be over $175. You really think about it. If you take a look at what the market cap is to get there, it's very possible. I was telling people this. It's like when you take a look at Arcblock, its direct competitor is Cosmos and DOT. And if you take a look at let's forget about the settlement. Let's forget about the communities for half a second and look at the stats. Just look at the technology. Arcblock has higher performance and more superior technology than both Polkadot and Atom Cosmos. Okay. It runs 100K TPS. It's interoperable. You could code in any language. Both Polkadot and Atom, they don't have that same processing speed, nor do they have the ability to code in multiple languages. There's a lot of different things that they don't have when it comes to programmability.
Yeah, there's so many differences. And I think when you look at the differences, I mean, Arcblock is truly in a field of its own. It's in a lane of its own. It blows away Cosmos and Polkadot. I think in the fullness of time, it's going to make, I commented to one person who had asked me about it. I think it's going to make ETH look like a drop in the bucket in the fullness of time. It really is like a game changer.
It's because you're looking at a different programmability. And that's what I keep telling people. It's like, you need to know what you're looking at. You have to really understand what you're looking at. You have Bitcoin, which is 1.0 programmability. ETH, you have a 2.0 programmability, and that simply adds smart contract. Blockchain 3.0, you have the nodes, you have the blocklet, you have the interoperability to use the tools anywhere. It's Web3 decentralization. So this means that there's no single point of failure. Any ecosystem can adopt and utilize the tools with or without crypto, or with crypto, whatever they want, and not have to leave or migrate from their ecosystem.
Yeah.
Huge. But besides that, the reason why I bring this up when it comes to the technology is because think about it. If these are the direct competitors and Arcblock has superior technologies by the stats, okay? Once this starts to get discovered, if you take a look at the market cap between Polkadot and Cosmos, they're at crashed market prices. They're at $8 billion in market cap, up to I think 15 billion in market cap, which in the bull cycle they were twice that. Okay.
Yeah.
But you know, let's focus on crashed prices just to be fun. The crash prices, let's say on 8 billion. Okay, let's say if you were to get 8 billion into Arcblock, that's $80.
That's $80. Yeah.
Yeah. If it was 15 billion, that's $150. So if Arcblock has superior technology and this is the next level, you're getting essentially, this is like getting DOT or Autumn at pennies before it gets discovered. You know, so it's really a tremendous opportunity when you actually dive deep into the programmability aspect of things, and also taking a look at its direct competitors and why it's better, and measuring out those market caps for fun as an investor. So, you know, this is things I like to do personally.
To be honest, no. And all those things you mentioned, that is my framework now as an investor. I mean, when I first got into the space, I was an XRP maxi, you know what I mean? And because of that, XRP kind of has a soft spot in my heart, I guess, always to some extent, because it was like my introduction to crypto. I kind of, you know, my first crypto was Bitcoin that I bought, but then I moved it from my Nano, or I moved it from Coinbase to my Nano when I first got into crypto. And it took like 10 minutes before it finally got there. And so then I tried XRP, and then XRP was instant. And I was like, yo, this is better. I don't care what anybody tells me. This feels more like a modern sense of actual how settlement should be in the digital world, right? Fast, cheap, easy about it. But going from there, though, as time went on, I thought I understood how to invest in crypto correctly. I thought I was paying attention to the things that I should. But after joining, you know, MYC, my whole entire understanding of what I should be looking at, the token supply, you know, reading the white papers, like I kind of knew, read the white paper, but even some of the terminology would go past me. So again, the entire experience with MYC, it allowed me to throw out all the bull crap that I had first learned. And it was hard at first because you're like,
yeah, you got
to throw away the Kool-Aid, and you kind of like drinking it. You like drinking, I just got to hold 589. It's going to be great. And I might as well already be rich.
Could you imagine what it would be like to open a Zoom wallet, you know, and to open a Zoom wallet, I think, what's it called? It's 10 XRP. Could you imagine paying 10 times 589 to open a Zoom wallet? Does that make sense?
No. And not only just that, I was at a standpoint where, you know, I kind of like with everyone else, I was like, dude, you know, XRP is going to go to the moon, but I just don't know why. It's going to replace Swift or something. And it wasn't until you kind of introduced the idea that this ecosystem needs dApps. If there's no dApps, there's no point of using the liquidity, which is XRP. And that's where the light bulb hit. Then it made sense why ETH is what ETH is. And I've been looking for a platform that can deploy dApps on it ever since. And I thought I kind of saw that with Cosmos, but Arcblock is it.
It's about projects, you know, you want to, because the layer, okay, so whatever layer it is, you know, whether it's Cosmos, XRP, or whatever, you have to think of it like a pizza, right? You know, it's
a perfect example. Yeah.
Layer, right? Mm-hmm. And in order for this ecosystem to get to higher prices, which is what investors want, you know, in order for that layer to start growing, it needs more projects. And why is that? You know, it's not just projects by itself. You have to think about what those projects need to do in order to launch on that layer. Mm-hmm. In order to launch on the layer, they need to buy a substantial amount of that layer one coin. So in XRP's case, in order for XRP to grow, more XRP projects need to be built on top, which those admins had to buy a substantial amount of XRP to deploy their token on top of the ecosystem. Correct. So that's what people need to understand. You know, the more projects that are being built on top of the layer, the more stability it'll have, because every project is a company in a way, and every company needs to purchase more of that token.
It goes up in demand.
Exactly. Yeah. Let's go through some more comments here. Give me 1 sec. Let me just kind of read through. I want to bring up this one from Legions.
Okay.
Legion says, we need ABT on Binance so plebs could pump our bags. They will wait. So, here's a fun fact to know about Binance. Robert Mao knows CZ personally. So they do have a relationship. It's not a close one, but they do know each other. But I don't know if you guys noticed, I think in November of last year, Robert Mao was live on Binance talking to, I think her name is Moonstrike or something like that.
Correct. Robert is plugged in. That's all I know. I don't know plugged into who, but he's plugged in.
He has his own timing in his mind, I believe, and that's why he moves the way he does. He's not a regular admin. You have to look at these guys as I would say large corporation level. And to give you an idea, guys, for those of you that know me, my background was M&A finance before I got into crypto. And you have small businesses, and small businesses are companies producing anywhere between, let's say, $10,000 up to about $4.9 million in revenue. That's a small company. Middle market companies are, I want to say, typically between 5 million up to 500 million in annual revenue. A large company would be something producing 501 million up to in the billions. Okay.
Dang.
Those are large corporations or large companies. That's what a large company would be predicated as. So, it's kind of funny. You think of a small company, 5 million or less.
That's a big company to me, bro.
A middle-sized company is 500 million or less. Okay.
Yeah.
But a large company is 501 up to the billion mark. Okay. So when you start to realize the sheer size of what Robert Mao is from and what he's catering to, you'll understand why he moves the way he moves. A lot of people in the crypto industry are so used to fast movements and high volatility that they don't understand true corporate finance and how slow it actually moves. Companies like this are 10 to 15 year projects. And Arcblock has been completed. It's a completed project. He got it done from 2017 till now. So he took 5 years to develop and complete the platform.
Correct. It is completed. And Robert even told me personally in that conversation that he had the vision for Arcblock since 2008. So this has definitely been a moment in the making, you could say.
Yeah, exactly. So, now that the platform is built and ready to go, it's going to be built on top of. So its full discovery is going to take another 5 years.
Yeah.
And I believe its full discovery is going to be more than 3 digits, because you have to think about it. If this is blockchain 3.0, you're looking at essentially another ETH, but with more programmability.
It is. And I mean, kind of like I remember seeing the video between you and Justin and Vinny and Christian, I think just the other day, and Justin is right with byte storage, where everything that's Web 2, whether it be YouTube or all the amazing applications that we can think of, can be right now built with blocklets. We can already make them Web 3, and we could be the first ones to do it. We could create the, and not to say we will, but I mean, we could be the first ones, as we kind of already are, to create a whole entire new Web 3 ecosystem and a Web 3 internet, because
I mean,
it's wild.
You have
Dion. We'll just kick it and wait. I don't know if I'm still live. If so, hope everyone's doing well. Again, shout out Chavo. He's the homie. Go give him a like and a follow. And but yeah, and come and follow For Society if you haven't yet. I was telling Dion that I just realized how crooked my glasses are from like mirror image. I was like, I didn't know that they were that slanted. All right, we'll just keep it rolling until Dion comes back. Dude, I can't get over how crooked my glasses are. No one has told me this. For anyone who's curious, I know Justin already had mentioned it. What is it? There we go. Justin already mentioned it. The AI kit that Robert had showed off It is absolutely beautiful, guys. I know whenever it's fully released, it'll blow your guys' minds. That's for sure. And I'm sure we'll get into that more once Dion gets back. Okay. I just went to, well, I heard somebody. Oh, wait, no, that's just me. All right, we're still just kicking it, waiting for Dion to come back. I know he's doing whatever he's got to do. And I guess I hope you guys, bro. I keep trying to fix my glasses; they're so crooked. Hope you guys have enjoyed the videos on the YouTube channel. I plan to definitely do some more walkthroughs and you know, just keep you guys updated on Arcblock and all things Web3. And shout out Dion again for letting me on the channel. I've been a part of MYC for almost over a year now, so it's truly an honor. What institutions? Okay, let me see the. I'm gonna go to the YouTube and see the chat real quick. You are live, LOL. You're still live. Should I leave or should I? I don't know. Force Society ABT vid, the most enthusiastic I've seen. Amazing stuff. Yo, thanks, guys. Tell us more about the AI blocklets. So the AI blocklets were wild. To be honest, the best example I can give you is Dion mentioned a little bit back in like a Twitter Spaces about a like an AI bot that like follows you around and stuff and pretty much learns your behavior on the internet, and then over time can pretty much be a clone of yourself. The AI kit has many features in it, but one of the features is that it's like a prototype version of that. And I thought that was interesting. I was going to mention that to Dion, that literally when I saw it, I was like, that's like a prototype version of the AI bot Dion was talking about in a Twitter Spaces that we did with ByteStorage. So really cool. I don't want to say too much on it without like maybe like saying, but you know, more than what I should. I will get a Steve-O size back tattoo of Robert Mouth's face when ABT hits 100. I respect that. Let me see. Again, I saw what institutions would pick up ABT. Dude, all I can say is the biggest institutions, the biggest companies. And as far as my conversation with Robert, they already are. Like, no joke, guys, they already are. Once Dion gets back on here, I'll tell him something that I had learned, which I thought was really cool. And you know, I didn't know this until Robert told me it, and I'm sure he knows it. But I thought to talk about it because I was like, that's a super interesting, cool aspect that nobody is doing. And I had heard, you know, talk about it before, but I really didn't understand it until Robert better explained it to me. So I'm excited to explain to you guys what it is. But let's see. What else are you planning to review on your channel? So I definitely plan on what is it? I definitely plan on just going through different blocklets, all the different ones that I can review. Like I saw that Robert just recently created the Noster blocklet, so I want to make a walkthrough as to how to create that, how to launch the blocklet, how to go get your account, just for anybody who's curious and interested, and just show off more of what the platform can do. I want to try out Vinny's Linktree. I don't know when that's going to be approved to be in the blocklet store, but I want to try that sucker out, and I want to use that as my own Linktree. Let me see. Hold up. Dion just responded. Lost feed, just keep rolling or try to end stream. We are spitting too many facts. Arcblock too bullish. Don't forget ICO was largest for Arcblock. Bro, don't worry about me. You keep going. Okay, I'll just what is it? I'll just wrap it up real quick here, and I guess I'll just say the thing that I thought was one of the coolest. Let me see. How is ABT going to hold up when regulations are coming? Dude, regulations will not hold ABT back at all. I think what is it? ABT is one of the few projects and one of the few investments that, regardless of what the regulators come out and say, it will not have any great effect like it will on all these other ICOs and all these other coins in the crypto space. It's not to say it's going to be, scatheless, where it doesn't get any hurt or any pushback in some sense, but they've really positioned Arcblock for a world of regulations, no matter what regulations come. So I wouldn't even worry about that. We are definitely golden in that area. Let me see. Keep it going. Have you spoken to Robert? Yes, I did speak to Robert personally. I was going to record it, but he wanted to do just a private chit chat, kind of a conversation to get to know each other. And so it was really enjoyable. I guess the one thing that I'll mention, which I thought was cool, because I don't know if Dion's coming back, but he had mentioned that what they plan to do on the back end, and he kept mentioning partners, and he couldn't really tell me all the partners that are involved, but the one partner for sure that he was able to tell me is for sure, I mean, we've already known this, Amazon, but I mean, literally a partner, Amazon, 100%. And what they're trying to make is a marketplace, a decentralized marketplace for servers. So one thing that I didn't know is when you go and you launch a server, you have to pay 10 ABT to get the server. And I didn't know who the 10 ABT was going to. I figured it was going to Arcblock or whatever the smart contract is that set it up. But actually, when you spend the 10 ABT to get the server, on the other end, it is somebody else taking the ABT and giving you the server. And that person, as of right now, like if you go to my Blocklet, it's being provided by Amazon. So that means Amazon took the 10 ABT and is now providing me a server to use. And I thought that was powerful because that already goes to show right now, ABT is being accepted by Amazon as a medium of exchange for computer resources. And they're wanting to create a whole marketplace where people can compete. And those are the miners. So instead of like where with Bitcoin, everyone's competing with their computation energy to try to, you could say, create the next block. And whoever does that gets the reward, and that being 6.5 Bitcoin or something. You know what I mean? So they're all in competition to get to the top. And whoever's first gets the Bitcoin and adds the next block to the blockchain. What they're trying to do is to create a competitive area or arena, but instead of trying to compete just to add another block to Bitcoin, they're competing to provide computational services and servers and whatever the user like us or who have you, whether it be a company, an enterprise, or the average Joe Schmo like me, they are competing for our ABT. So say whenever it comes out that we have serverless blocklets where I'm only paying 1 ABT to ultimately use that blocklet, somebody will need to host that server. And it could be Amazon, it could be Google, it could be somebody in their house, like just chilling, running the server. And the beautiful thing is that we can do that and they won't be able to steal, hack, or take any information from you because they do not have the DID to access it. So usually, like if you want Amazon to run your server for you, you have to give them your login and your password, personal information that you wouldn't want to. And you have to trust that they won't do anything bad with it or sell it to somebody else. This is how we can keep that same world, but now it has to be done where if you do not have the DID, you can't even access it. You can't even sell it or do all the other stuff that you would like to do. All you can do is provide top-end services. So to me, it's like the Amazon for computer resources, for code, the Amazon for code. So instead of like, going to Amazon and you type in like a broom or a brush and like multiple different versions of a brush shows up. Those are different people, different stores competing for your attention, for your dollars, and they have reviews and they have everything to kind of dictate their pricing. And it's up to you to choose which one you want, which serves you best. And that's the kind of marketplace that they're trying to create for software, for components, and for applications and which have you. So I thought that was really cool. I didn't fully grasp it until Robert explained it to me. So that completely blew my mind, to say the least. Okay, let's, what is it? Exactly. Dion just said they can't say Arcblock is security. Robert or Arcblock hasn't sold a single token since ICO 2017. You are exactly right. And that's already a beautiful aspect. They were thinking ahead and they were thinking big. I'm almost ready to convert all my bags to this. Dude, it's a beautiful project, guys. 100% straight spit and on-demand data, folks. Very well said, my friend. Let's see. Kind of LMAO, too much bullishness going on in one spot. Can you see yourself using the Arcblock tech? Can you tell us more about? Yeah, I mean, I already use it. I'm already using the Arcblock technology to run my my main website, which is in my bio on my Twitter. So you can click on that and you can kind of check it out and kind of see how it looks. And I made that entirely with no code, but just the Blocklet. I even made a video on my channel that walks you through how to make it. What is it? Let me see. Can you tell us more about your own crypto life, how you got hooked into the industry? Well, basically, I was looking for an investment outlet. And, you know, when the pandemic came, I realized that, you know, usually you want to invest during a crash. And real quick, my Twitter name is @4Societies, or it's the 4 Society. And I have the same logo. I don't know if you can see it. I'll comment something real quick. Or if anything, I have the same logo as it's like just 4 Society. It's like a purple thing. But if anything, I got into investing during the pandemic, and I first looked at stocks. And stocks at first, you know, kind of intrigued me, but then I got bored of it real quick. And it just wasn't providing what I was wanting. And then I noticed crypto, and crypto from an investment standpoint provided everything that I wanted and all the opportunity and risk that I was willing to take. So that's what got me interested in crypto. But here recently, I was starting to get a little burnt out on it because I didn't know what else I could do besides buy and hold. Like, yeah, you can, you know, stake coins and, you know, you can earn a yield on them or put them in a liquidity pool. But I felt restricted. I felt like I was, you know, yeah, I'm an investor, but still like on the outside looking in. I really didn't know how to use Web3 or use crypto. And again, one thing that I've learned is crypto in and of itself is like a new financial system. Web3 in and of itself is a new internet. So it's kind of wrong to even associate the two, even though they will be interoperable. But again, you know, crypto, the ability to, you know, custody your own money and so forth, that's all benefits that we need in our financial system and in the new financial system coming about. But when it comes to DID and Web3 aspects and identifiers and which have you, that's more so Web3, creating web pages and, you know, pretty much imagine everything we see from even the YouTube we're watching right now. This can all be recreated and put on a Blocklet, and we could comment with all our DIDs and which have you. People can upload videos, and then if people, you know, monetize those videos, they can receive, like Dion was saying earlier, you know, the monetization splits automatically. So it'll just take time and execution, but all the tools are there. All the components needed to build this future is here on this platform. Let me see. Cool. We'll watch that. Sounds good. I only hold LCX and ABT. I can't hold them all. Dude, those two are great in and of themselves. It's not financial advice, but beautiful picks. Nice. I'm ready to convert a big ADA bag over. It will give me a huge bag. Thanks for the tip. Someone told 100%, dude. And I mean, Cardano's chill. I haven't looked into too much about it, but as of now, everything that I'm looking for as an investment opportunity, as a platform to utilize for my own desires, Arcblock does that. Arcblock is providing that. So I'm extremely bullish on it, to say the least. And I guess we'll kind of maybe wrap it up here. I don't want to take too much time. Let me see. I think Vincent's Arcblock certificate development. I'm losing my words because I'm low-key excited. Guys, Vinny's Blocklet just got released, I think. So go to, what is it? Let me see, breaking. Oh my goodness. Yeah, go to, I'm sure you can go to Vinny's Twitter, retweet that, like it, comment congratulations. I've been excited to see and try out Vinny's Blocklet. I'll make a video exclusively just for Vinny's Blocklet to try it out and show you guys how to use it. But I guess besides that, we'll wrap it up. I don't want to take too much time. Raj has entered the chat. But man, I'm late. Well, what is it? Again, we'll wrap it up. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'm sure me and Dion will do this again. But besides that, I'll catch you guys later. And thank you again. And thank you for all your support. Be safe, Lord willing. See you next time, guys. And okay.